Last time on For Public Safety, we brought you to Lafayette, Indiana, where this happened.
This man had to headbutt the out of an idiot. Who was basically assaulting a couple of women.
I just seen him put his hands on the lady. So that's why I got involved.
And they charged him.
The man who headbutted Jordan has been identified as Jeremy Marks, and he was arrested for misdemeanor battery, according to LPD.
And let the dude that was doing everything, including pulling a gun out and chasing him through a crowd of protesters, they let that dude go.
You're not!
Although the Lafayette, Indiana City Police Department arrested Jeremy on charges of misdemeanor battery, they later released him on a $250 bond, claiming that there were never any charges to begin with.
LPD Sergeant Sean Verma provided a statement saying, and quote, "We want to clarify that charges were never filed and therefore no charges were dropped."
So in this episode, we're going to talk to some people to try to find out what it's going to take to get Jeremy and Leslie their bond money back.
For public safety and official misconduct, back with you again for part 2. So basically the reason we're here in this building right now is because they have attached a bond to this man, but there have been no official charges. So what our research leads us to is that they can actually have a bond, but a judge has to approve it. So we're going to figure out what judge is over this and how they ended up affecting the bond.
Oh, okay.
Do you want to start this?
It's a nice courthouse. It's the same room?
Yeah, this one's at the records.
They're different rooms.
I'm trying to see about getting my bond money back.
Oh yeah, don't forget that. Are you the defendant or the cash bond payer?
Well, I'm the payer and he's the defendant.
Okay. And have you been sentenced already?
There's not even a case.
They never filed charges, you've never been to court?
No.
Okay. Have you contacted the prosecutor's office yet or no?
No.
No, okay. I'll give you the instructions for that real quick.
Is it normal to have a bond set without a case?
Yeah, it happens all the time.
Okay.
They have up to 2 years to file if they want.
Understood. I just wondered how they already set a bond. It was curious to me.
So those are the instructions for how you can get that released.
I mean, I have a bond receipt and everything. I have everything I need to get it released.
Yes, but it's in their jurisdiction, so they have to be the ones to release it. So you have to follow the instructions here to get it released.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Is that in this building?
No, they're 111 North.
Oh, that's right. It's right across the street.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Wait a minute. One more question. Is there a way to find out what judge approved that bond?
I don't think so.
There has to be a judge for a bond, correct?
Did you get arrested and go to jail?
Yeah.
Yes, there's no judge attached to it.
How do they make the decision to do the bond without a judge?
I guess the prosecutors probably do it.
Okay, so the prosecutors might be the ones that would be responsible for the whole thing?
Yep.
Okay, just trying to get a paper trail of everything. Thank you, buddy. You'll have a good day.
So he was in there asking if there was a judge
Somebody was paying it.
there wasn't. So it may have been the prosecutor.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's get your bond back. All right, so y'all heard it. The hoops of jumping begin. We got to go over to the prosecutor's office. So, prosecutor's office is across the street. We're going to hop over there and see you then. All right, so here's what they gave him. It says that when you're released on this type of bond, like with no charges, that 60 days after the arrest and no charges are filed, you can send an email, or you can, send an email, it's saying, and include a photocopy of the original bond receipt, a photocopy of your ID, and a current address to be mailed. Well, we're going to still go over and talk to the prosecutor to see if we can get this bond back. Silly. Imagine that the police detain somebody, put them in jail in that, and run you through that whole vigorous, unconstitutional process, and then tell you, well, to get your money back when you didn't get any charges because we couldn't find anything that you did wrong. Email us and we'll give you your money back. Imagine that shit.
Venmo it over to you.
We keep learning more about law that makes no fucking sense the more we do this shit.
Lawfully crossing the street.
At a crosswalk. Lawfully crossing at a crosswalk. So if Jordan comes popping around this corner
911! 911!
yelling out of a megaphone some crazy shit about assaulting people, there's both me and Jeremy here today, so you won't just get headbutted in the face. It'll be worse.
All right, so where we're going now is we're going over to the prosecutor's office, correct?
Yep, correct.
I don't know. Last time we were here, there was a guy tearing up money. Tearing it up?
He was tearing up money in intersections, screaming at people, came in here, headbutted the window.
There are some
They
crazy
used to
people out
have
there.
I guess they used to have some guy in here. They took it down because it was violating the Constitution. They had a guy here that was, like at the courthouse
Yeah,
with the metal detector.
right.
Apparently it was not allowed by the law.
All right. Yeah, I mean, it's a public facility. They're kind of crossing boundaries by stopping you, because we do have freedom of movement in public areas. But
I'd
that's
rather not have people in the courthouse with them. So.
well, yeah. There's just so many loopholes in the law that
But apparently they couldn't keep it here for some reason.
somebody must have challenged it to the point where they
Yeah,
decided
it
it
was in the
wasn't
news.
worth it.
They put it was in the news because we came here. I noticed it was gone. I'm like, what happened? And then I saw news articles about it.
So I took a brief look at the lawsuit that we were talking about here, and to my surprise, the case was not filed under a Fourth Amendment violation like I expected it to be, but it was filed under a Second Amendment violation. According to this lawsuit, apparently the Indiana law says that they can prohibit firearms in areas in which there are actually courthouses. So this annex building may not actually have a courthouse, but they do convene grand jury, and that is protected by security during the grand jury hearings. So apparently they were able to challenge the fact that they had security and were keeping people from entering the prosecutor's office with firearms. That actually surprised me quite a bit, but we'll keep going with our original video here. Maybe we'll come back to this later. Go right ahead, bud. How you doing?
It's the regular prosecutor's office, right? All right, I need to see if I can get my bond money back. I was arrested with no charges.
But have you applied at all?
No.
No? Okay, so I'll need the original bond to see it and you can
I have my cables right now. I'll definitely be checking my text messages. And then, Chris is doing a static video, so you guys. I'll let you have to work with everything. What was I saying? Okay, I'm just stepping back a little bit because I don't want to have any private information being disclosed all over YouTube screens. Okay, yeah, we will be gone by 1 a.m. Unless something crazy happens.
I'll email you to that email provided, and then the clerk's office will be the one that handles any of the money. So they'll be the ones to either mail it to you, or you can pick it up in their office.
Okay. So that's it?
Odd band, that was solid.
I have a couple of questions. They're based on his, but this is not his questions.
Okay.
So I guess it's kind of regular for these bonds to be set when there's no charges for like a period of time. It looked like maybe 60 days, according to that. Who is responsible for setting that bond when that happens?
Like setting the price of the bond?
They're just setting the bond without a judge. Would it be a
I
prosecutor?
believe it's either the jail or it would be a judge.
So the jail, the sheriff department can make that themselves?
I believe so. Our office doesn't handle the bond portion other than the release of the bond when the charges haven't been filed.
So this office decides whether or not to release the bond, but the bond can be set by just a sheriff?
As far as I know. So
Okay.
the only thing that our office does is we give it over to an investigator that confirms that we're not filing the charges, and that's our process of releasing the bond.
Okay, so from here, what you will do after this process with him is you'll get with the investigator on his case and make sure that they don't intend on filing charges, and then you can release it?
Yep, so I'll give this over to an investigator, we'll just look over everything, confirm that the case is not filed.
I'm sorry.
You're fine. I'll give it to an investigator, and then they'll confirm that the case is not being filed, and then from there, they'll write us a letter that releases the bond, which
Okay.
will give over to the clerk's office.
Understood. I'm still kind of confused about who sets the bond. Like, that part's kind of getting me, because when I looked it up, I'm not arguing, I'm just asking because I don't know and I want to learn. But it said that a judge has to approve.
The judge might have a process in it, I just know our office doesn't handle the setting of a bond.
You want to hear something funny? Across the hall, across the road over there, they said the prosecutor did it.
I guess the prosecutors probably do it.
Okay, so the prosecutors might be the ones that would be responsible for the whole thing. And I was like, well, I'll ask the prosecutor's office. Everybody always puts it off on somebody else.
Unfortunately.
You know what I mean? Transparency is a must. Do you know who this guy is?
Which guy?
The guy you just did business with.
I know his name.
You don't know who he is though? He's a local hero.
Am I supposed to know?
This case, he was a hero in this case. There was a guy that hopped out of his truck with an assault rifle, wanting to do damage to people in town, and this guy stopped him from hurting people. Yeah.
Name does not ring a bell.
Yeah, that's why the police charged him though. So we're here because we got questions. Why are they investigating the wrong guy when they know exactly who the problem was? You know what I'm saying? So we're here to kind of look at that, and I have a YouTube channel, so we want attention.
Oh,
But
I have no idea.
that's a big case. It's all over the world on
I know
media.
the case you're referring to, but no, I didn't. His name did not ring a bell.
Yeah, he's a good man. He doesn't deserve to be punished for doing the right thing. So hopefully we can all work together as a community to try to get this all resolved and put an actual dangerous person, a perpetrator, in jail where they belong.
Yep.
That's what we're here for. It's nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Thank you. I still don't know.
So as usual, I still don't know the answer as to who's actually responsible for the bond. She says it's not the prosecutor. Over at the courthouse, they said it was the prosecutor, but she also said that it could be the jail itself, which is under the sheriff's purview. So that's another question I guess we could ask the sheriff, if they're allowed to make their own bonds in cases. But it's the city department's investigation. So maybe the city can set their own bond. Who knows? We're going to find out.
off on it. That is baffling.
So wild, man.
So this man said that typically the sheriff's department is the one that sets the bond.
Typically, yeah, because
And
it
then
would be through the
Seven
county.
Cities said that they may have a magistrate there.
That's
at-
the word I was looking for earlier.
Yeah, they
Okay,
do.
so then that,
That's the one I was actually
But he
thinking.
didn't
not on the
see the
weekends.
magistrate.
Oh yeah. Well, they may be able to call them though. You know what I'm saying? Do it over the phone. This time we are at the Tippecanoe County Sheriff's Department. We are here with Jeremy and Leslie again. We got questions for the sheriff. He already made a public statement that he doesn't want to make any public statements. We might need him to make a couple more public statements. So that's what we're here for. That we got some questions about that bond situation, which we did not get resolved in part 1. So y'all ready?
Oh, yeah. Hang on, you forgot some people.
Did I
Live
forget?
chat.
Oh yeah, we're doing a live stream on
You're
OMC's
here
channel.
with live chat too.
If you have not subscribed to Official MissConduct, by gosh, you're missing out on an awful lot of stuff that happens as it happens. So
That's right.
I would highly recommend the channel. Give it, brother.
so I'm set up here. So this is where visitation occurs, but they don't have visitation going on right now.
And while we're waiting on the sheriff to potentially come out and make a public statement with us, I thought this would be a good time in the video to point out that during our live stream, several of our subscribers did a quick internet search on the name James Jordan, the gun-wielding perp from the square, and it was quickly learned that Jordan wasn't just another ordinary citizen. He's a former employee of Lafayette, Indiana. So it's always possible that this former government employee may actually get special privileges.
911!
the Constitution.
911!
Get in the car, we're done.
911! 911!
And then they have a restricted area over there that obviously says no cell phones.
Yeah, good camera system. Well, that's 2003. Where's the newer one? Who's the sheriff now?
Goldsmith.
I should have a plaque somewhere for it. No. Where's their current plaque for their sheriff?
Over there, is it over there?
Well, that one's all the way back to 2003 or 6. Okay. I don't see it.
Yes, there is. This visitation section here. And I make sure that nobody is
Yeah, I don't see nothing with the current sheriff on it. Yeah, 2003. Hello, how are you today? I know the sheriff said he didn't want to make any more public statements on this case, but I wanted to give him the opportunity and just ask if he would anyway. This is the man that was involved in that incident in which he had to be in the place where police should have been in town. He don't want to talk about it at all? Well, okay, so that was one of the questions. What about the courthouse lawn? Like, wouldn't the lawn...
They weren't on the courthouse lawn, they were on the street.
I think the protest was organized to be there.
They were on the courthouse property.
I don't think he's here.
Yeah.
No, the sheriff's here.
And then
They always say he's not here.
the main thing was this. So they, the police arrested him. The city police did. And released him after two days and gave him a bond. So we're wondering, like they're holding his bond right now, we're wondering just who it is so we can get a paper trail of who it is that sets that bond, and we're being told that the jail may be the ones. I didn't think that was true. So who does?
I think the state sets it.
I'm sorry?
The state.
The state.
I think the state sets it.
No, I'm talking about a human being with a name. Like somebody has to make that decision.
Yes, I think the state mandates what the bond is.
The state mandates what the bond is?
So do you guys have a magistrate that is staffed here within this office that would establish the bonds?
We have magistrate court, yes.
Okay.
And they can
Is there
change the
any
bond
way-
or add the bond.
Okay, so it could have been the magistrate then.
No, I didn't see magistrate. I didn't see magistrate.
So he would have needed to see
I was
the
here
magistrate.
on Saturday, left on Sunday. Did not see magistrate.
So we're wondering how they were able to establish a bond if they didn't follow the process to have the bond
Okay, can you guys
established.
have a seat for a minute? I've got somebody on hold on the.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I didn't know that when you called me up. And you can have an officer come out if they might know more.
Just have a seat.
Thank you.
Camera's making her a little nervous. That happens sometimes. They're just simple questions. We'll be all right.
Well, she's the state, that means the prosecutor.
You know, it's curious because certainly they have somebody that does it, even on weekends.
I'm telling you, I think they just have set bonds for different crimes because once people are seen by a judge, their bond will go up if it's a more serious crime.
I mean, yeah, because my case that I caught, my bond was like, they gave me a bond, I mean, it was like $1,000. And I caught that case.
So you think like they got a list of crimes on paper
Probably.
and they just go off that every time? Somebody's got to prove that.
Because
But then they make decisions to not give people bonds at all and just OR them, so.
Who's making them decisions?
But they do have a set bond, like my friend got arrested for domestic battery and she had a set bond, but we waited and she was OR. So like she didn't have to pay a bond.
Well, that still doesn't answer our question though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
She's going to tell you the sheriff's gone. They always tell you the sheriff's
Oh,
not here.
say that again.
They always say the sheriff's not here, but that's a fucking lie.
And
For those of you that are familiar with the channel, you know they do that at all government offices in every level. Prosecutors are the worst, man. They're in the meeting.
Hey, no, they do say because there was a guy that over the weekend, not too long, a couple days ago or whatever, was at the Cactus, and he threatened the staff members with a gun, and they gave him a $500 bond. But I looked at it, I looked it up. It's $1,500 now. So they do have set bonds for certain
Yeah,
shit.
he was arrested for.
So, $500 bond for somebody that's in there's at least minimum making threats to kill somebody with a gun. Damn, this county needs to get a grip on that shit for sure.
Do you recognize anything familiar? All the staff's gone now.
Yeah.
boom, boom, boom.
And we were being extremely respectful.
She's probably going to go get somebody.
She will. Yeah, they'll get somebody. They don't want to just leave us here.
Nobody knows.
Jeremy was held against his will for 12 hours.
So this is where you had to spend the night after saving a couple of women from assault. You had to spend the night here in this bleach. It's like bleach. It smells like bleach.
At least it's clean.
At least it's clean. Yeah, but he had to stay here. This was his home for doing the right thing for a day or two with no charges.
No, it's just 12 hours.
Oh, 12 hours? I thought it was 24.
No, 12 hours. They originally said 24 when they arrested him. The jail couldn't hold him longer than 12.
Yeah, but there is like a rule where if a prosecutor says that they can hold up to 72.
Yeah,
They didn't
if
do
the-
all that,
If the
but
judge orders it, they can have a 72-hour hold.
yeah, if the judge orders it. But they held about as long as they could then. No charges. He did get a bond, but no charges. It's wild.
One eternity later.
Sheriff is out for the day.
Okay.
Chief Deputy Ruley is in a meeting. I spoke to the captain of the jail and asked him how the bonds are set.
Okay.
Our courts set the bonds. There's a list, so when an officer books somebody in,
like say for an OWI point something, they look that up on the computer and it tells them how much the bond is.
Okay.
And that's set by the courts.
Okay.
Our courts.
Right. So the sheet's set by the court.
So basically, the courts gave permission to the officers to set up a bond based on their sheet that they already have pre-established.
The jail.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And then if they're not bonded out before court, the magistrate can change it.
I understand.
So now that we've unraveled the mystery of what ghost judge was determining these bond releases, leave it up to our government to let a sheet of paper determine a bond.
If they OR'd him, released him on his own recognizance, then he'll get that bond back if he paid, if there was a bond.
Well, they released him on the bond. I mean, he had to pay a bond.
Right.
And he'll get it back. Like, we've already gone to the courthouse and the prosecutor's office and got it released. We were just curious who made the bond, you know what I mean? Because we want a full paper trail.
Let's get back to asking a few more questions about how the incident was handled in Lafayette, Indiana in the first place.
I don't know, you're aware of what happened. I mean, obviously, we're going to want, like, all the
That
records.
Monday, I did nothing but field phone calls all day of people yelling at me and about.
That's why I wanted you all to be able to have your piece to talk using my platform.
I mean, obviously you as a secretary type position, you have no control over what's going on, so you don't want people yelling at you, right?
So when y'all burn phone lines up, you're doing it to this sweet lady. Not that it's not okay to call, because it is. And I do believe that there are significant questions that the sheriff could still answer to the public, and it would probably help relieve some of that. Because I do think there's a lot going on that we would like to see the sheriff step up and do. You know what I mean? Potentially.
I have to take up with him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, constituents here.
I can give you his email address.
That'd be fine. I'll take that. And I mean, we'd be more than happy to, like, I know he doesn't want to make a public statement, which is fine. I would like a statement of some sort, is at least specifically to my questions. Like, I'm really curious why there wasn't security at this lawn that day, because it really put this man in a bad spot.
I mean, I was there, so we were on the courthouse property. It wasn't just on the sidewalk. And so they did send out sheriff's deputies for the remainder of everything that happened afterwards. But it would have been good to have a police presence from the beginning.
There's the sheriff.
Oh, okay.
So there's the
What I read.
Yeah. And I shake their hands and I said thank you for being here and protecting us, because I really appreciated them staying there the rest of the time.
I didn't even know that was going on.
Yeah.
So maybe for future reference, it would be ideal to have presence within the courtyard square to help deter a future event like this from happening, because I feel like if officer presence is there and they're known and they are doing what they typically should do whenever there's a peaceful protest organized, then what happened with him wouldn't happen. You know, someone wouldn't get out of the vehicle and start harassing people. I mean,
we'd like a little more aggressiveness out of the sheriff's department, because it seems like we got a big problem with the city police in this. I mean, they've done everything from falsify police reports to flat out lie to the public. At least the sheriff has not lied to the best of my knowledge. His statement looked like it was factual, but I cannot say the same about the LPD. All of their statements are completely non-factual. Right. That's an issue, and then we elect a sheriff. So one of the things the sheriff can do is constitutional law enforcement. He can make sure they're doing their job too, even though the mayor is responsible ultimately for the chief. The sheriff still has jurisdiction where he can enforce that they follow the law. We wouldn't mind if they have to arrest somebody in a suit. You know what I'm saying?
I have no idea about that.
Well,
I'm just the receptionist.
I know you are. Now, one person who is aware of this situation, who is involved in it, that I happen to know works here, is Sergeant Webb. Is he available?
I contacted the police first thing. I believe it was March 7th. As soon as I volunteered, I called the City of Lafayette Police Department, and they said, great. They said, talk to the sheriff. They said the courthouse is the sheriff's purview. I said, great. I called Sergeant Webb of the sheriff's department.
Is he sheriff's or?
I have no idea.
Yeah, he's a deputy.
Okay.
A few moments later.
Sorry?
He's not in his office.
He's not. Shoot, I need to talk to him too. So before I leave, then, can I get the sheriff's contact and Mr. Webb's? Do they wear body cameras here?
Yes, they do.
Can I get the body cams of the responding officers, make a records request? Do you know how much they charge here for it?
Well, you have to pay for it before they'll print it.
Yeah. Do you know about how much they charge?
I think it's $150.
Oh, the full amount, as much as they can. That's okay. I'll still put in the request.
So in my time of doing this type of work, I have learned one major thing, is that the government will always use every letter within the law to try to avoid transparency. In the state of Indiana, the open records law actually says that they can charge up to $150 for records if it takes them a lot of processing to be able to get that record available to you. So in our experience, what we've noticed is that the Indiana government tends to abuse that line in the open records law so that they don't have to do it or they can overcharge you.
Thank you. Hey, Tiff, would you mind doing a records request for the body cam?
For whose body cam?
The people that responding officer. It'd be the officer that come out from here, like whatever sheriff deputy showed up.
Oh, okay.
Thank you too for being patient with us.
Oh, no problem.
I hope this helped.
Are you putting that on somewhere?
Yeah, I'm going to publish it in my videos. I'll do a playlist. It'll be one of the things I want to do is help relieve the people that don't need to be getting flood called because it's been happening, and I think this is one of them. This agency. I don't think y'all need to be getting flood called. So I'm going to insert that, and I said the only response I want is just to be able to talk to Mr. Webb and the sheriff. It's not much to ask. But you were great, and you look lovely, by the way. So.
I'll probably get in trouble for saying that I got flooded with angry.
No, you won't. I'll put it out there because I know you have been. So I'll cut some things and organize it in a way where people understand. I don't agree with doing that when I think a lot of people are confused about who has what positions in the government, and they hear law violation or something like that, and they automatically think sheriff when they should have been thinking. They don't know that there's differences. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a lot of people come in and they think we're LPD, or they don't understand because even though you're in LPDs, you're in Tippecanoe County, they still think it's us.
Exactly. All right, we're trying to help inform people of how everybody has their different positions. I mean, people need to be a lot more educated on how our government functions. And that's one of the main things that we don't know as a society is who does what, you know? They blame everybody for everything.
Can I get your name?
Yeah, I'm Chris. Oh, that's all I want to give for now.
Are you from Indiana Scanner Freaks?
I'm from the United States of America. What'd you think I was going to do? Hand you my ID? The sheriff will figure it out.
Okay.
He'll get it, and he'll see it's nothing to worry about.
Okay.
Yeah. We've worked with a lot of agencies to try to help situations like this. Obviously, we're only here for one big problem.
You're not!
None of us need people running around wielding guns trying to shoot people.
Oh no, that would, when I saw that, I was like, oh gosh, I'm glad I didn't have to do anything down that day.
I wish the sheriff would just send a deputy to go get him. He got all the probable cause in the world. We can see that the police ain't doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's a jurisdiction thing.
You think so? Oh, I guess it did. It occurred in the
Yeah,
city.
because it happened on the sidewalk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, he searched and hunted for my fiance with an assault rifle, and then he was just a few feet from my 2-year-old daughter with an assault rifle. So it's pretty terrifying. It was terrifying.
Oh, did she already fill it out?
Yeah, I need to figure out the time of the incident.
Over in the
Do you know when they responded?
In the sidelines, put, that you want the body
Did y'all get a call for that incident, like from the LPD?
I have no idea.
So you don't know if there's like a CAD?
I have no idea.
Okay.
You can write cat sheet on it.
Well, I was just thinking we could use that number to associate everything.
If there is one, you know, they can get it.
So, I don't know the time of the incident.
But you're gonna have to put a
was like
name,
12
address, and phone number at the bottom, because legally we have to have that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't mind doing mine. I just don't like doing it when I'm asked for it. We could put body cam of the responding officer maybe and do time frame. They'll know what we're talking about, right?
Yeah, they'll call you,
Okay.
but they'll call you with how much it is before they even print it.
Yeah.
Because it has to be paid for before it's printed.
Right.
Originally, my intention was to not really publish much of the conversation that I had here with the administrative staff of the sheriff's department, but that kind of changed when I received this phone call in response to my records request.
Hello?
Hi, is this Chris?
It is.
Hi, Chris. This is Stephanie from the Sheriff's Office in Tippecanoe County.
Hi, Stephanie.
Hi there. I am calling in regards to a request that you had given us yesterday.
Yes, ma'am.
And just wanted to let you know that this is an LPD, Lafayette Police Department case.
Right.
And so we have nothing to do, we have no footage or anything like that. So you would need to contact Lafayette Police Department.
Well, we did both. We went to both the sheriff's department and Lafayette. I'm aware that Lafayette's the ones that basically took action. I was just thinking that your officers, when they did, because they showed, there was a couple of county deputies that showed up afterwards, thankfully. I was hoping maybe they had body cams on when they went.
And if they did have body cams on, it would have been something that would be still under investigation, and none of that information would be given out.
Until the investigation is complete, right?
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah.
Well, in that case, can you just keep a record that I've already made this request, and that way, once the investigation is complete, we'll still have access. Like, I want to make sure they don't get deleted, or, you know, because listen, here's the deal: we're so aware that Lafayette Police Department, the PD, is not doing a proper investigation on this case. They've already made that.
Well, I don't want to talk about that. So,
well, I can.
But yeah, but I'm not gonna listen to that. So, anyway, I just wanted to let you know that that's all that we don't have any information, or that is their case. So, okay.
No,
all
hold
right,
on.
thank
Just
you.
make sure that we're aware.
No, thank you.
That the body camera footage has been requested.
Thank you.
So by law, you have to hold it.
Oh, it's so cute. I'm not going to listen to that. But I would like to show as much as I can of this event. We got to get the public's attention on this.
I tried to circle my block, and you fucking
Platform fascists! Platform fascists!
Platform fascists! Platform fascists! Platform fascists! Platform fascists!
Platform fascists!
You're not!
Platform fascists! Platform fascists!
Gun! I will keep an eye on you. Get his license plate.
Protect the Constitution! 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 Protect the Constitution!
When seconds count, they're minutes away.
But I'm like, he had a gun.
All right, so we requested body cam of the responding officers, which is after the fact. Obviously, they showed up after everything. But that, and we got messages in with both Webb, who I'll show you why I'm questioning Webb right here.
I was the primary point of contact for the event on Saturday. I was a volunteer through the 5051 organization. Of course, I immediately contacted the team of experienced organizers who have run so many successful events in town, including Miss Allen and many others with whom you're no doubt familiar. And I'm only speaking right now because of the article in the Journal and Courier, which was posted about 22 minutes ago, which states falsehoods. It implies that we showed up with hundreds of people and gave the city no warning. That is false. I contacted the police first thing. I believe it was March 7th. As soon as I volunteered, I called the City of Lafayette Police Department, and they said, great. They said, talk to the sheriff. They said, the courthouse is the sheriff's purview. I said, great. I called Sergeant Webb of the sheriff's department and had a lengthy conversation with him, and he explained to me the importance of getting a permit for such events. I said, wonderful. And he's directed me to the commissioner's office to get that permit. The commissioner's office emailed me the permit. I printed up the permit, and it said right there, insurance required. So I emailed my friends. I said, hey, guys, we need insurance. My friends threw in some money. I called Julie Ish of the Ish Agency and said, can you hook me up with some insurance? She said, I'll call you back in an hour. An hour later, she called me back and she said, no. She said, nobody will sell that insurance. I called another agency in town whose name I've forgotten, I'm sorry. They said no. She just put me on hold for a minute and called her, and she said, yeah, no. I called Allstate, my insurance carrier. They have an event department. The event department said, nope. I also went to www.eventinsurance.com. There's nothing on their list for political demonstration, rally. It's for baby showers and bar mitzvahs. So I called Sergeant Webb the next day or two later, because this took a couple of days. A day or two later, I said, sir, I cannot get insurance. And he said, well, then it's going to be on you. I said, whoa. I said, well, you know, people are going to show up because there's a public event. It's not on me. We have a right to have a civil event. So he put me in touch with Paula of the commissioner's office. She and I had a wonderful conversation. She was very helpful. She said, listen, and she believed me about the insurance. She said, yeah, ever since January 6th, hello, nobody will sell insurance for a political event. Excuse me, but yes. So Miss Paula, however, was very helpful, and she recommended making use of the plaza area. And I said, great. I said, we always meet out front. Everyone knows that's where everybody rallies. We all know this. She said, also use that plaza area. I said, great. So we went about preparing our event. And as the numbers came in larger than we might have thought, because there's a lot of interest, I called the city, not the city, I called Sergeant Webb specifically on Thursday of this week And I said, Sergeant Webb, we're looking at 400 to 600 people. He said, why didn't you just have it at a park? I said, because we want to have it at the courthouse. That is the center of town.
Please wrap up your comments.
So they were called on 2 days before the event. I called Sergeant Webb. I called the commissioner's office. I left a message with the mayor's office. And I had Randa Halsema contact the Main Street Vendors Association because I thought they'd appreciate a heads up. People were told.
So hopefully he'll respond, and we'll have some correspondence, maybe a recorded call or something if he wants to. I feel like he wants to tell his constituents exactly what his position is on this. I really wish he would, as a sheriff. I wish he would explain exactly what his position is on this. So hopefully he'll do that. If he doesn't, then, you know, you have to take it with a grain of salt. Like, he doesn't have to. Can't force him to talk. But anyway, we're going to go now to the police department that really fucks shit up and ask them what the hell the problem is, more or less. So, are y'all ready for part 3?
Yeah.
We're going to the Lafayette City Police Department, and oh boy, this one should get exciting. We'll see y'all there. Love you. See you on the next one.